So recently, I have noticed that my live stream views, whilst I stream on Twitch, has significantly dropped. And of course, as a streamer, it bothers me. And I started to question why that happens. And then I have noticed in the social media, such as X, where a lot of streamers have been complaining about the fact that their viewership has dropped significantly down. And then I was like, probably it's because Twitch recently started to remove bots from their platform, which kind of makes sense. But at the same time, me and Amigo started to talk about it, dig deeper, what's really happening. And there is something what we discovered, what has been actually a while ago implemented. And we decided that we would like to talk about this today and share this information with you.
Correct. And yeah, I mean there was an X post by a streamer that goes by Lofa, and he posted basically a screenshot that got leaked from the Discord of the NA Twitch partners. And on this post, their employee or whoever it was explaining basically to the community, because the community outcrying about the viewership, what a viewer actually count as. And they were explaining, because a lot of people were seeing that the chat list was not matching the viewers numbers, and which kind of makes sense, that they explained that, if you have things like Chatterino, if someone's in the chat that is not has the website open or the stream open, and a lot of people use that, right, to have multiple chats open so they can see who's chatting and stuff like that, and that basically does not count as a viewer. And I for me personally, I thought that I've known that for a while, right, because I don't have the stream open, and that kind of makes sense. But they also explained that if a viewer has multiple streams open, they won't count to any of the stream as a viewer. And that was the main talking point, right? That people were kind of like shocked about, that they did not know. And initially, we saw that that they got told by that it was more than two. And then I saw recently this morning as well another post that it said that if there's more than five, by an
Streamers.
actual stream, five streamers opened at the same time on the viewer, and this was apparently by an ex Twitch employee. So me and Danu, me and Amiga, obviously were curious, and we wanted to test ourselves. So we jumped in to do our
And we did
research.
and we did our own research with a channel which was a live streaming on Twitch, and it had zero views basically. So
Mhm.
we thought it's a great opportunity to test on this channel because it's going to be easier to see the number in a viewer amount jumping from 0 to 1 to 2, because guess maybe there's not going to be 3 or 4. And so we could analyze on how many streams you should have opened or closed or whatever in order to see the viewer amount change. And we started with opening 6 tabs. And once we joined the channel, it showed that there's 2 viewers, so basically me and Amigo.
Mhm.
And then once we opened 6 tabs, it jumped to 0.
Yeah, correct. And then obviously from then on, we started just removing each tab one by one, and we saw that it was basically not moving until we started hitting around the 3 tabs open. We started that it would like bounce up to one and then go towards the zero. So then we went for 2 tabs, and then again it was going from 1 to 2 viewers, and then obviously back to the 1 viewer. We just kept going back and forth to see what numbers was showing, and if it was accurate or not, if it was updating or not. And what we realized is that if you have more than one, it would start fluctuating already. So basically, if you have 2 streams open, whether it's on a pop out or on a tab, it can fluctuate between 1 and 2. Like it was going down to 1 for like 30 seconds, then it would go up to 2 for 30 seconds, even though we were both watching that stream. So even with 2 stream, so the information that is out there was also incorrect, because they said it was more than 2, right? So 3 or more. And even with 2, it was fluctuating. But as we saw that we added 3 tabs or pop outs, it was going down to 0. So basically, 3 or more would cause you to not count as a viewer.
Which is pretty sad. And also, we noticed an interesting thing, although that's now just our personal assumption. And, assumptions is just it's not really true.
Mm-hmm.
But we noticed when it was opened, 3 streams at the time were opened. And then approximately each 20 to 30 seconds, it would just most likely jump between each channel of like giving this view. So it
Yeah.
would just appear as one view on this no name, zero viewer channel. But then after 20 seconds, it would disappear. And we assumed that it would just jump to other stream, which was open at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 20 more seconds, maybe to this third channel. And then it would just come back to this channel, which had zero views. So it was
Yeah.
also very strange. It wasn't really consistent when you had several streams opened at the time. But then once we turned off all of those streams and we just kept this one stream, which had 0 views, it just jumped back to two and it
Yeah.
was just there stable for like 10 minutes. Because we did this test for like whole 2 hours with experimenting different kind of things,
Yeah.
even muting streams, unmuting streams to see maybe even small tiny details affect the viewership in the stream. But
Yeah.
basically,
Uh-huh. And
yeah.
that basically, I mean, it it makes sense, right? It makes sense that it does that because for Twitch's stats, like if one viewer has 10 streams open and he's one viewer on all those streams, that means he's counted as 10 people. And as a global number, that would be higher, right? But at the same time, I think this is affecting people that like actually watching multiple streams at the same time, that have like, they're watching, for example, me and you, and they have two streams open side by side and they like seeing both POVs. They're basically not fluctuating as a full viewer to both of them. At the end of the day, I think the viewers, if they enjoy watching multiple streams, they should carry on doing that, but understanding that you're not really technically potentially supporting to the channel. And a lot of people think because how many times have I seen viewers saying, yeah, I'm going to leave your stream open, I'm going to be lurking, and then they like either have multiple streams opened at the same time, thinking that they're supporting the streamer, becoming a viewer, and then either playing a game, doing something on the side, or maybe watching another stream, right? A lot of people kind of do that. A lot of people have multiple tabs and multiple streams open, thinking that they're supporting the streamer, but at the end of the day, they're actually hurting all of them at once. They should just like choose one.
Unfortunately.
Choose one. If you're actually meaning to just support, just choose that one streamer. But obviously, if you enjoy watching two at the same time, you do what's best for the viewer, right? You can't really be as a streamer saying, "Oh, just watch me" or anything like that. But it's just, I think that information is good for the streamers and the viewers to know what is counting or what is not.
Yeah, because I mean, for me as a streamer, I feel like it's so unfair and like
Mhm.
I'm losing that one viewer. But as you mentioned, I think it kind of makes sense because if one person watches 10 streams at the same time, it cannot be as 10 people, as
Yeah,
a 10
yeah,
plus viewers in each channel because you're one watching 10 channels, right? And so it has to be somehow logically divided because
mhm,
then it would be also probably fake numbers overall for the platform.
correct.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If we see any more new information out there or about this viewership and the viewboarding stuff, we'll definitely try to cover it because for me it's very interesting to dig deep and see what is the information correct out there. So yeah,
If you liked and enjoyed such type of format of video where we are talking and discussing not small, topics which are related to internet world or any other topic, make sure to let us know in the comment section whether Amigo and Amiga podcast should be a thing in the internet world. And we're gonna wait for your comments on it. And also this one, could help a lot.
yes. Muchas gracias.
Ciao.
Ciao.